All right, let's get into planets and aliens and the SkyDome above you and all these things as we're going into the new age, and kind of extract things from here and there and bring it together in a little picture for you so you can kind of understand how this projection works, okay? Because we're told about astrology. We're told about being connected to the planets and the stars, and the sun gives life to all things. The Son of God, the sun, that light of God, it's all inside of us. And God, that light, that spirit, that vibration is in all things in this world, and we are connected to it and through it. And these lights, we live on this stage basically, and these lights in the sky are shining down on the stage. And there's basically different invisible strings or grids. It says heaven is likened into a net, so we could say there's a net, a fascia system that the SkyDome is attached to. And when the rockets get to a certain altitude and such, it looks like they hit some water and they start looking like a boat upside down, and the sky is blue and such, and we live in a pressurized tank, so maybe this projection, and we also are water, there's humidity and water everywhere and such, but and we're also 70% water. The earth is 70% water. We are walking, talking earth system, all these things, all right? So as we have the sun here, we have the sun here, the light and the power within us, and we have the sun over here, okay? So all these work together in unison, and it's all connected to an invisible grid, and the pyramids and all those things could have been built with the earth, okay? Or we can see how the robots and the AI and all these things are coming together to create what was. So either way, when these planets and moon and all these things come in at certain times, we have a sky clock, and the lyre, the strings, those instruments, and we hear those instruments. The mint is changing, the gold is changing. We're going from mining in the ground, mining in the air, all these numbers and such. So playing things in a flip-flop. So as the digital age is coming upon us, and the technology has peaked on one side, but it's the birth of another. We're just now getting started as far as technology in one way. So this is just the birth of one, and this is when the next age of man is going to go into the new heaven and earth, and the old man is bound or whatever, and we can look around this earth and see different cultures and nations and whatever, how all these things have developed, because we live in this particular time when these things are all going on at once, and then we're also going into a whole new age of doing things. But this is where the planets are all coming in, and they're all hitting these strings in the sky at one time, and it's causing a reverberation in the projection we live in, but we don't hear it or see it necessarily, or at least the majority or masses don't hear it. And then it comes down and it filters through everything and changes us. And as we are parts of these stars and planets and stuff, depending where you're born, when you're born, what time you're born, all those things are all coming in, and it's all part of a clock, and you're part of a clock, and that's where all right, so since we live in this projection and all the planets are in alignment and such, the men are from Mars, women are from Venus, we can see this masculine energy from over here or the feminine energy from over here. And this doesn't necessarily mean wieners versus milkers or whatever. It can mean love versus hate, or create versus destroy, those types of things, and those run within us. And this is where that Mars is given birth to us, and those Venus is given birth to us. And notice the Mars is here, and it's causing the hands off kind of movement, but also the Mars and the Elon, that side is also connected to the Venus, the US, and the EV, and all those things. And that's where you come out of eating the apple, because you had the E for the electronic, and then you go to the Venus, and that's the more of the United States, because this United States of America has divided as it's become united, and it's united against each other. And then now that's where America is so-called formed out of. And then you know the next United States, that us, for that just us, and the G's us, and the God of the us and the hour, going into the next time frame from Genesis 1, where we can do all things. And then the Lord God, who creates the good and evil and such, comes into the Adam and Eve, says you can't be doing this over here and whatever. And this Lord God is inside of all of us, as Jesus is inside of us, Satan's inside of us, Lucifer's inside of us. And the rapture, this is like your alien self coming down and getting you up out of here. And this is kind of where where we're told, like, we're just passing through. We don't even like belong in this world in a way, because it's like everything's like foreign. People are eating this and drinking this and living this way and that way or whatever, and it's all just kind of, you just see through it. So it's just like a weird thing. But also we're at a weird time and change when the consciousness of man, the Christhood of man, the Christ consciousness, all these things are being gathered, and the old way is going to be shattered, and we are still here to build the new. So we're just now getting started in a way. But the lights and the reverb basically is coming down, and this is where astrology seems like it's right and not right, and where it hits a lot over here and it misses over here and whatever. But all these things are here in different spectrums, because we're coming out of where everything was gathered into one consciousness and being scattered. And that's where we see in Genesis 1 through chapters 1 through 6, and then we see it in Revelation and all these things, where the image is given life, and it's created this consciousness of 666 of evil upon man. And as you create the evil, that Lord within all comes and gather those people for that age, and they cannot go into the next time frame in a way. So knowing that we're connected to these stars, and knowing they have a role to play in the sky clock and the times, should let you know that you have a role to play, and that you are here for a reason and all that. You're not just shooting through space from some big bang, that you're revolving some world in some corkscrew pattern or whatever. And a lot of you are living your life in that corkscrew pattern, where you go to work and you come home, you drink the bottle of wine or the case of beer or whatever, and you're living in this rat trap or whatever. And either way, we're the higher light, the aliens, God is light, all these things, it operates in a higher consciousness. If it's light turning on here, then obviously it's a light that can come into here, and that can be where people get in crashes and the light surrounds them, and they end up like a different person after that, and or whatever, right? So Either way, some weird times going on here, people. So we're just here to connect them, all right? Or try to connect them.